Hello everyone, this will be the review of game TSIOQUE or TSIOQUE or however you pronounce it, which is mostly a point-and-click adventure game with a rather ugly main character. The game itself is very well animated, but I personally don't exactly like this particular graphic style, just not necessarily like all the art, especially characters. The environment is rather pretty, but some characters are like, in my opinion, too ugly, but some are good. It's just a matter of opinion. And it's just an adventure game mostly. So this is not a genre that I really like. I don't buy those games. I played them when I was like 7 years old, and then there was something awesome. There was times of King's Quest and Police Quest and Larry and games like that. But then I kind of stopped playing them entirely. I always thought that, well, in other games you have the same elements, but you also have other elements. Like if you look at Skyrim as an adventure game, it is an adventure game to some extent, but you also have combat, you also have a character progression, you also have open world. In adventure games, you just have the adventure. You just have a sort of a story that you have to push forward frame by frame, constantly getting stuck. So you either get stuck or you have to use a guide, and both options are not for me. It's just not for me, not the genre. But the game is done pretty well, so I decided to show it to you. I will just show it to you, not necessarily tell you if I like it, because I kinda don't like any adventure games, any point-and-click adventure games. I appreciate them for graphics and for length and for storytelling, but that's just not what I'm looking for in games. Like the last games in this genre I liked, probably it was Monkey Island, the first one, years ago, and then I really liked the one about photographer girl. Always forget the name constantly. Yeah, it was the second part was something before the storm. Yeah, I forgot it, but it had really nice mechanic with the time travel and stuff like that, and it was really well animated, really well, really pretty, like watching a movie. So I really liked it. Aside from that, it's just not the genre that I like. But I'm gonna show you one scene from my game. Then I will try to reset the game and show you just the beginning, because I don't want to spoil too much. The game is supposedly short, so let's just go to gameplay. See, this is one of scenes where we are. The sounds are pretty cool. So we have those two guys who shoot. They have some sort of session, shooting session, and it just goes on in real time. What you can do is probably, aside from just poking stuff, I tried to poke it, but I couldn't. Yeah, I can do it. So I'm not gonna solve it for you. I'm just gonna show you. Okay, I could theoretically go away, maybe. I can poke something. No, I can't poke because they're shooting. What else can I poke? I can poke this? No. I can't poke anything. Probably have to scare them away somehow. No idea how. The only thing I realized is that you can... Of course, nothing works entirely. Absolutely nothing. Probably there is another task to do here somewhere. But first you need to do something with those two figures. So we have those two mannequins. You can move a mannequin. And there is some sort of way to do it. Like you probably have to keep moving one or both of those mannequins. And there is many situations possible here. So after each shot, the guy either misses or hits, right? So now he's going to hit or not. I could move it or not. What if I don't move it? He hits it, okay. Sorry for the phone, but I can do nothing about it, sadly. Right, this one will be hit or miss. Let's see. Hit, right? Now let's move this one. Is he going to hit or not? Hit. Okay. What if I move it? Now, they don't hit the same direction, I think. I think they just miss some shots and they don't miss others, so you need to know exactly how to do it. Like when they start, for instance, he is going to hit or not. Let's say I don't. Let's say I move it. No, I'm causing something. He is going to hit. And maybe that was the case. Like he's slowly winning, right? I would have to now poke it, maybe, or not. Is he going to miss? He's hitting. He's like hitting every time. I can have those two positions only. And this one has also two positions. So there's quite a lot of combinations here. I would have to kind of do it, right? If I had the guide, I would just know. Like left, right, right, left. Done. If not, you have to try. This is not exactly the sort of gameplay that I would like to do, but I appreciate the entire graphics, right? This is really pretty. This is well done. Not necessarily the girl, because she's rather ugly. Those guys are like half okay, but the rest of the environment is quite pretty. Now let me try to go away of here. Can I do it? No, probably I'm stuck in the scene. Yes, I'm stuck in the scene. So I'm just going to go back. By the way, in terms of graphics, there is no regulation. We can regulate music and sound, which is good. If we go to main menu, we have options, but there is no resolution, which is very annoying. I will have to reset progress now, show you just the beginning of the game. It has 6 languages, so that's quite cool, but no regulation of graphics. Let's just try to reset. Hopefully it resets, and then play new game. There should be saves, because like this you can only have one game running, which is also not very standard option. Usually you have just normal save anytime you want in those games, even in old ones. Alright, play new game. I'm gonna skip it, maybe. Can I skip it? Yeah, because he's going to tell this poem, which is telling the story of the girl. Stuff happens, evil people, right? Usual story. Poor girl and evil wizard. And this is the first scene of the game. I'm gonna try to show it to you. How do you make light? Well, you just click. Now, from what I remember, you have to make her drop the medallion. By the way, you can click stuff. Like, oh, this can be only seen. I don't wanna see. I wanna poke stuff. How do you go into watching stuff? Before it was, yeah. I is just causing the movement. Alright, you're poking stuff. I don't remember this eye, by the way. This is probably something clickable. I can click him. No, I can't really. Yeah, he did something. He's scratching his butt. This just, yeah, I can just jump. Poke this. Poke this. All this stuff is animated, so this is really neat. But there's only one solution for everything. So all we can really do is take this medallion and drop it. I think if we drop it twice or something like that. Right, we drop it. The guy gets wet. He will give me the medallion, I think. Right, so this is the solution. I'm only giving the solution for one scene. Right, you have to take it. Drop it again, I think. Let me drop it. Like this. Okay. It works properly. It's really hard to break a game like this, because it's old stuff from like 30 years ago. You click stuff, some of it is responding, some of it is just watching stuff. Usually there were descriptions. Here is just animation. You poke something and there's an animation. What am I supposed to do? Drop it again? Maybe? Not sure. Was it 3 times? If I drop it... Yeah, you have to just do it 3 times. And you have this thing going on, right? And this monster got the skull, I guess, which is not an item, by the way. And now I think you have to do something more. That's the monster, that's the evil guy. That's the wizard. Okay, I'm gonna try to skip him. Okay, he's quite okay, I would say. Alright, so he's talking. He kills him. Okay, I get it. And now we have to... Yeah, I'm quiet. And now we have to make this guy... I think we have to give him something. I'm not really sure how it was. I guess we have to go out. How to go out? Maybe you poke this. Yeah, I clicked it the same way. Like I clicked it here and she didn't climb. But I clicked there and she did. Okay, whatever. I'm just giving you a full solution for this part. So now I think you have to give him something. Yeah, you need to give him bread, I guess. And he'll be happy. Or maybe it. It's an octopus, I don't know. How do you give it to him? Yeah, you give it to him. And you get the key. So this is just the first scene. So basically the entire game is done on those nice animations. Well, animations, as I said before. Animations are okay, the environment is okay, the character is ugly. But that's just me. You know, you might say that she's cute or whatever. I think she's ugly. And then you open it, I guess. She moves very slowly, which is another problem. A little bit of a problem. It's very slow. And that's like one scene beaten. So see, the problem for me with those games is that basically it was like... Well, let me just maybe stop it or not. She's gonna do the animation. It's like watching a cartoon when somebody is constantly stopping you from watching it. Like you're watching a cartoon and somebody presses stop and tells you to do something. Now you do something, you can watch another few seconds of this animation, and then I'm gonna do this. I think he said alarm, maybe. I think you have to go there. You know? Probably no one comes. Right. You could go right, you could go there. So there's two, yeah, there's two options. Like from left, I could go back. No. I could go there, I could go there. So basically I have two options, right? The cat, I think I can poke him. But that does nothing, I'm afraid. Right, the screen's panning a little bit. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna stop here because I don't want to spoil the story. I played a little bit longer. We can say that the game has like two gimmicks. One is the very old, typical point-and-click adventure thing where you can kind of interact with items, look at them, sort of poke them, or you use item on something, like use medallion on the tray, or you just poke something and then it just makes an animation, which normally is just the description. Here, instead of descriptions, you have animations. The other thing is like puzzles. There's a couple of them. I did like 4 or 5 of them, and I got stuck on the one with the arrows. So it's like connecting typical old school point-and-click adventure game with a little bit of puzzles, but in the same environment. So sometimes you have to do some sort of sequence, or you have to do something in proper timing. Basically, if you have a guide, if somebody tells you click this, click that, left one, right one, and so on, you will just keep going with the game. If not, you have to figure it out yourself or use a guide. For me, it's very strange sort of gameplay. The whole genre is like this, and if they change the game itself, if they change the game mechanics somehow in an interesting way, that it's not just the typical old school adventure, I might play a game like this. But this is just the old one. Like this is like Monkey Island, sort of. So if you like those games, you will probably like it. You will probably like the gameplay, because the gameplay is just the same as in the whole genre. And you might like the animations. You might like the cute graphics. It's all like hand drawn, so it really looks good aside from the characters. But like big part of the game is really pretty. Can I poke the swords? Yeah, I can. It does nothing. Of course, it does nothing. Can I move it? No, I can just poke it, which does absolutely nothing. I don't know why everything moves when I poke it. Maybe it's some sort of guide to the game that you can kind of interact with some stuff at least. But most stuff you click just twitches. So I did a couple of those puzzles. They were okay. Like the one I showed you was the one with arrows, right? So you can eventually beat it, or you can find a sequence in a scene, right? So click something on something in proper sequence, and then you move forward to another scene, and eventually the game ends. How many points I would give it? I would actually give it 7. 1 point for the graphics and 1 point for this slight break of the typical point and click adventure stuff, that you have those puzzles because it's like one layer higher, one level higher, or one layer more. It's just slightly better than the typical pick this, give it there, use key on door, and that's it. You also have those sort of puzzles within the game. It's just, well, it's still the same genre, but it's slightly better. And the graphics are generally above average, I would say. I have to admit it. They are above average. But I wouldn't go really crazy about this game. I mean, I've seen many beautiful games that were also adventure games. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the game, but I always forget it. Yeah, I like some stuff that is like how to call it, photorealistic maybe. And if it's drawn, if it's just done or CGI or anything, it must be really high quality. So in this case, I would say that the environment is very good. The characters, not really. Sometimes it's the opposite, sometimes it's just horrible in both ways. Sometimes the game is just very pretty in every level. I would say this is like 70% of what I would expect. So yeah, 7 out of 10. It's above average because there are very many bad games like this in this genre, done in a really crude way, very budget, and not necessarily interesting. This is an interesting idea. Generally, you are this small princess who has to fight or sort of escape from the wizard, and the story just slowly unravels with very interesting animations and interactions. But this is just not the genre for me. So if you want my opinion about the genre or the game, that I wouldn't buy it, I wouldn't invest in it, just because there is better stuff out there. There are just better games out there. I would rather play Skyrim for 100 hours than, a few hours of this game like this. But I played those games when I was very small. I played those games, and yeah, they can be fun, especially if you like reading and going through the story very slowly, like frame by frame, and figuring out what to do. Or even if you just want to experience the game with a guide, it's still sort of a proper animation, well done. But again, why would you pay for animation? You can just watch a cartoon or something. So it's not very quality product for me as a genre. I would pay maybe $1 for a game, for pretty much any game from the genre, because I'm really not much interested. If it was super pretty or very long, maybe, but even long games in this genre are just one time, right? You go through it and you're done. Even if it's like 20 hours, it's just 20 hours animation, and then you won't replay it because there is no point. So still, the price would have to be very low. So I would recommend it to people who like the genre, if you like point and click adventure games, or if you like cartoony graphics, well done cartoony graphics, then you might like it. I'm absolutely sure that some people will love this game just because of the look of the style. I personally don't like the style of the characters, but the rest is really good. I would recommend it, but only to that group. If you're not in that group, if you don't like adventure games, this is still just an adventure game. So you won't find much more. Yeah, you will find those puzzles, but they are still done in the same style of, clicking stuff or using objects. There's nothing more than that in the game. But yeah, the animation might be really good. Alright, guys. So that will be it for the TSIOQUE, and I'll see you in next review. If you could, I would like you to fix the resolution, pretty much add any sort of resolution regulation, because it's just very annoying to record, and people will probably appreciate it. Not just sound sliders are there, but I would like also resolution, any resolution, or window mode, or anything. Aside from that, it's a positive review, 7 out of 10, TSIOQUE, and I will see you guys in the next one.